Uh-oh. Gotta turn the screen up. Good morning. Actually, it might be afternoon. I'm not quite sure, but you know what? Might as well be morning, because I'm still sipping my coffee, so... Oh, that's good. I'm doing drift car things today. Drift car things, that means 240. It's parked right there. Right there. That's where it is. So, whew, I got these things right here behind me. I'll show you those in just a second. Crazy, awesome stuff is about to happen. So I know people like the unboxing experience, but I already experienced it by myself off camera. Let me tell you, it was grand, alright? I wish you could have been there, but you didn't. You didn't make the cut. Sorry, Chief. I already unboxed these things. So what we are looking at here is some GK Tech knuckles. Front knuckles. I believe they're drop knuckles as well as like regular stuff. We'll compare new to old. When I get the old ones off, the old ones are still in the car. I don't know what these things are. I'm sure I'll figure it out. I think they go here. They look as if they go here. They line up just perfectly with that. Because I know this is for the caliper. I don't know what goes in this hole. So I mean, we'll figure it out. There's no instructions, so I'm just doing what I gotta do. This geometry is different too. It moves this, so these are supposed to give me like a bunch of degrees of steering lock. I think somewhere around the like, if this is your straight axis here, boop. Factory's probably like that. I currently probably have like that. I think these are gonna give me like that. So it's supposed to give me somewhere around 65, no, what was it, 50 to 70 degrees of steering angle. These ones are like mid, they're like street grip drift thing, so it's not regular. The regular one is like this far. And then there's these, and then there's the pro drift ones is what they call it, and it puts this point right here, like right here. So it just changes the geometry, just how much angle you want. So this is the mid version. I don't know what exactly all the specifications, but if you're curious and you want to do this to your 240, I'll put it in the description, little right down there. So, you know, while you're in that description, you should go, you're gonna, if you're in there reading this, you're gonna read that you should go follow me on Instagram, right here. TM240SX, and then also Malachowski Motorsports. Support the channel. Support the channel, support the behind the scenes stuff, the beautiful pictures, as you will. So, also you'll get to see this. This was either last video or next video, so disregard. So I'm going to start by ripping the tires off. I need to jack the front of the car up, rip the tires off, and then basically just start deassembling, or disassembling I should say. So, we're going to get that all ready. It's going to be sweet. I'm super excited for these. Once these are in, everything in the front suspension is done.
And jump at the same time.
So this is the factory one. I got that out. It took like 15 minutes because everything is freshly worked on. So I got that out. And look, side by side comparison. Look at this. Look at this distance to that distance. Do you see it? Wow. Drift stuff. Dylan showed up. Wow. So I don't know what this is for. That thing comes with this. It goes here. I'm guessing like some kind of ABS related something or other. But I don't have that, so I'm not going to use it. That goes there. Oh, just like that. That's on there. And then there's the hub and everything. The hub's actually still spins really nice. So I'm not going to... The grease in there looks a little gross, but I'm just going to send it. Because 5-lug hub soon. So I'm going to...
You better keep that clip of you.
Chris,
Oh, yeah,
did you take the hammer?
Yeah, I got it. You need it? Yep. Sure, I can go get my hammer if you guys need it. Alrighty, this is the GK Tech knuckle. It's on. Everything is just kind of finger tight right now, but it's there. Right off the bat, you can see the distance of the lower control arm versus the tie rod. It's like way more in. Like, look at that. Wait, actually, here, wait. That's about lined up. So look at that. That's freaking 2 inches in, 1.5 inches in. Another thing, I didn't originally know. I didn't know if these were drop spindles or not, but they are, because if you put that about where it should be, look at that. That's like 1 inch difference. So that's pretty cool, pretty interesting. So it's gonna decrease this distance, and also it moves this up, meaning I'm gonna probably have to adjust my coilover because my tire is probably gonna hit the fender. So you licking that brake dust off? So that's pretty cool. I will say, this area right here, right, I don't know if you can see it, but oh, my hand's stuck in the freaking cord. Right here where this nut goes in, this little channel, It's extremely difficult to get anything in there. So, if you're doing this, this is what you need. You need this, and you need a swivel, and you need an extension, no, an adapter, and then an extension, and then your cherry. So this is the setup, right? I'm gonna figure this out. You know what you should do? You should smash that like button. Go ahead and subscribe while you're down there. Down there in the comments, writing a nice message. Alright, so this is the setup. This is what's going on. I'll show you on the other side what you have to take off, what in what order, or at least how I did it. I'm no professional, but you can take my word for it if you'd like. I'm actually going to tighten everything back on here, and then I'm going to put the knuckle back on, or not the knuckle, I'm sorry, the hub back on, and tighten that. But before I put the hub on, I have to put the dust shield on, because I do want to keep that. And then see if the tire fits. If the tire doesn't fit, I'm going to have to lower that coil over, which is going to be not fun. Alrighty, it's the late hours of the night. I'm starting on the passenger side. I've been procrastinating, that's why I'm, you know, I told you it only took like 15 minutes to get this side off, and then about, I don't know, maybe an hour to get it together, but look at this. Oh, there's the cat. He did all the work, I didn't do it. Let's check this crap out. Check this junk out. Let me get my flashlight on here. The first thing I noticed is I haven't lowered the car. It's not sitting on its own weight yet. And look at that, it's about 1/4 inch. You see, like, compared to my finger, it's about 1/4 inch. So, I'm gonna have to raise the car. It's definitely, I found out the drop spindles. I don't know if I mentioned that in the video. Another thing I noticed, these are 17-inch wheels. Look at this distance right here. Do you see that? Do you see how close that thing is? I literally couldn't even, what do you want, cat? Literally couldn't even, like, put my finger, like, look at that. Finger can't even fit between, you could probably get, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 cards stacked on top of each other to fit that gap. So, that means I can't even run any wheels smaller than 17s, which kind of sucks because I was definitely about to buy a set of 15s. But you can't do that with drop spindles, didn't know that. If I didn't show you that they're drop spindles, look at this. This is the GK Tech, this is stock. Do you see how the spindle's on the same plane, and then here's this straight line? Look at this distance. This is where the lower control arm mounts, See that? It's like 1 inch and a, I don't know, 1 5/8 difference, 1.5 inch difference maybe. Another thing here, let me, oof. Look at this distance compared to this distance. This is lower control arm, tie rod. Lower control arm, tie rod. So, it's doing some crazy stuff. Alright, step 1, get the bugs out of here. Alright, step 2, caliper's gonna come off first, so I'm gonna pull the caliper off. Actually, no, I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna pull the coilover off so that I can pull the caliper off and the line doesn't get hung up on this bolt. So, coilover, these 2 bolts, then pull the caliper off, then the rotor can come off. Then you pull this cap off, there's a cotter pin, pop the cotter pin, take the nut off in there, hub comes off, then you can do the lower control arm and the tie rod. Pretty simple, I'll show you step by step. Let's get that coilover off right now, and I can't snap, so, wow, look at that, just like that, it just fell off. So I have that. Next step is going to be getting this caliper off, and so look, this one's good. The other one, the reason I'm showing you this, that pillow ball seems like it's worn out, because that spins way too easy, but this one's good. The other one, maybe I just need to loosen the other one, I don't know. The other one doesn't do this. It turns, this jam nut I've had to tighten a bunch of times on the driver's side, same with this one. It'll either pivot on the threads from this collar, or from this collar, which means it keeps on, like, adjusting my height, so that's no good. Let's get that caliper off. Alright, bam, brake caliper right there. That's off, right here. So, I know I said the next step was pop this cap off and get that cotter pin out, but I'm not going to do that. Pulled the cotter pin off of the tie rod and the lower control arm mount. I'm going to, or the joints, I'm going to, oh, well, I guess I don't got to crack that nut loose because it's already loose. I guess I didn't tighten that from when I put these on. Huh. I could have died. I've been driving this thing for like 3 weeks like that. That's cool. Whatever. So, got that off. Well, actually, I need to put the castle nut on upside down. Little pro tip, you put a castle nut on upside down, then you whack it with a hammer, and then it doesn't damage the threads or the nut. But you gotta put it even, so like right there. And then I'll give her a smack, but I'm gonna get this one to that point. I'm gonna break this loose, get it so the castle nut's upside down so I don't ruin the threads or the castle nut, and then I'm gonna smack them both down, and then pop those out. But first I'm gonna lift this back up and put a bolt, just put a bolt through it, not like tighten it or put the nut on the other side, just so it holds in place. I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second. Actually, let me just set you guys down. Second. I did this in the wrong order. Alright, this is what I did. Well, I mean, you saw what I did. That's the not right way to do it. I should have just left these attached because I just remember there's a nut in there that has a lot of foot-pounds of torque on it. So I gotta break that loose. So I'm just gonna slip that ball joint back in there and then put the nut back on just so it doesn't, you know, do this. Because right now it's just like, just chilling in there. So I'm just gonna put that back on. Tie rod's good, that's fine. I disconnected that, but I'm just gonna put this nut back on. Not even tight, just on so it holds it in place. Crack that little guy loose. Dude, look what I just freaking found. My goodness, I could have died. Look at all those ants on that dead bug. Where are they coming from? Oof, they better not be coming from where I'm sitting, bro. If I'm sitting in ants, I'm gonna freaking freak out. Look at that, wow. Well, that ain't good. Alright, so this is, I got the cap off, it looks like that. You do exactly what I just did. You just take a little chisel or a punch or something, get that little guy off, probably even a screwdriver. But see, now I gotta get this cotter pin out to unbend that and then take that nut off. It's like 70 foot-pounds. I think it's 71 foot-pounds exactly. So it's not like crazy tight, but I couldn't have it too wobbly. I mean, it's still pretty wobbly, but we'll figure it out. Watch this. I'm gonna do it right now. My goodness, that was definitely tighter than 30 or friggin' 70 foot-pounds. I was giving her the beans. And then your hub comes off, just like that. Ba-bam. Alright, and then you just gotta take the dust shield off. It's just like a slight press fit, so I mean, you can just tap that little guy off. That's what I did. Alrighty, I'm on the reassembly process now. So the knuckles on. These bolts are just, there's no nuts, they're just poked in there. This is tightened down with the cotter pin in. This is how I have to do it. It looks retarded. I don't know if you can see it, but you can probably see this one. Oof. Well, you can't. Let me get my flashlight. See that? That's how the cotter pin has to be. I mean, it's going to hold, but it looks stupid. So, I'll turn that flashlight off. So that's how both the cotter pins are. See this one? As you can see, it's sticking out. It's bent. Both prongs are bent, but it looks retarded. Anyways, this is all greased up. You got to remember to put your dust shield back on. I forgot the last time I had to pull it back apart. So this goes on first. Remember, that's where your caliper bolt's on. So you got to have the open space where your caliper bolt is. And this is a pressed fit right here. So when you hammer it off, you might kind of bend this. I definitely did a little bit. So there's a piece of wood around here somewhere to smack that straight. But get this thing back on, then put the hub on. Ba-bam. And once the hub's on, you can torque that nut down to 71 foot-pounds. Slap that cotter in. Press this little guy back on. And that's cherry. And then then caliper. And then I'm gonna be done. That's all I'm gonna do tonight. Then tomorrow I'll have to align the car because the alignment's gonna be way off. So mint. So it's that, and then both wheels are on. I'm gonna set the car down right now. It's about a 1/4 inch from the fender. Actually, before I set it down, I'm gonna take a little bit of toe. I'm gonna bring a little toe in because it's still a little off. Same with the other side, tiny bit, couple turns. Then I'm gonna set it on the ground. I'm not 100% sure. Actually, I'm just gonna set it on the ground now. I'm just gonna send it because I already pulled the jack stands out. I don't want to put them back in, and I don't want to be under there with it sketchy. So we're not gonna do that. I'm just gonna set it down. I think it's gonna hit the fenders. I don't know if I'll be able to even get that jack out. We're about to figure it out. close is that? Is that barely clear? Oh, no, it's still not clear. Wow, this car is flipping low, man. I can't test my steering angle, obviously, because my fenders are sitting on the tires. So I'm going to drink some of this Powerade flavored water, look at my car for a minute, and then I'm gonna go inside and go to bed. Alrighty, as you can see, car has wheels. Has wheels on it. So that can only mean one thing. That can mean that we're getting better. Look, so fitment, a little crispier. Right now it's about finger gaps. I'm probably gonna have to raise it. I'll show you why in a minute. Should be about the same on both sides. Yeah, about the same. Toe is eyeball-ish good, but I haven't set it on the ground yet. The car's still in the air. When I turn, look at this. That's full lock right there. That's pretty sharp. That's a lot of, I need to get, I'm gonna order some smaller tires. These are 245 45 17s. I'm thinking if I get like a 225 35 17, it'll clear a lot better. So, or maybe if I can find a 225 30, some little pizza cutters, I don't know. It's probably what I'm gonna have to do, but as you can see, it's hitting the wiring harness. I'm gonna have to address that. See right in here? I don't know if you can see it, but where my finger is, it's hitting the wiring harness. You can see it right there pretty good. Shoving up in there, so that's an issue. And you can see it's at full lock. Look at the tie rod is hitting the lower control arm. That's what we want. You see, how is that clearance to the wheel? That's pretty decent. It's close right here. Look at this. Oof. Look at that. You see it? It looks like it's gonna touch, but it doesn't touch. Oh, I can't get the camera in there. There you go. See? It doesn't touch, but it's close. It's real close. And then, also, as you can see, it is scraping back here at full lock. But I'm not worried about that. I had to massage this in with the hammer a little bit. Right now, the toe is the same, and the tension rods are the same. I'm going to set it on the ground, wait on the car, and then it'll be hunky-dory. So right now, all my problems are driver tire, because look, when I go full lock this way, I can't even move the tire at all because it's up in here. So all of my problems right now are driver side. So you can see the harness, it's been rubbing before. Let me get the camera up in here. See, it's been rubbing before. You can see the harness is all ripped apart. It has been rubbing before. Obviously I haven't driven it yet, so none of this is from just right now. I do need to address that issue. I'm going to try and find a way to, I don't even know, to be honest with you. I have no idea. I'm gonna have to shove the harness up in there somehow. I might have to pull this fender off. Hope not, but I might have to. So, that's that. I need a clearance where it's hitting. I'm gonna have to figure out the wiring harness, and then later on I'm gonna paint this, but I won't film that. But I do have crazy freaking cool angle. You see, just make sure, yep, this side tie rod is touching. Actually, it's not quite touching because my tire is hitting the inner fender. So I'm just going to smash this in with the sledgehammer. Eventually I'm going to cut these out. I got the handy dandy sledge there, the persuader, as we like to call it. I'm just going to smash this in so it'll clearance. Probably do that right now, pull this tire off, crunch it in, put the tire back on, see if it clears. And then if it, once I get that figured out, I'll figure out the wiring harness. Oh, I'm not even like showing you what I'm pointing at. I'm going to figure out the wiring harness. I'm kind of concerned about the wiring harness. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it quite yet. I don't have any plan. So we shall figure out as we go. Alright, so I took it for a test drive. Wheels are back off. As you can see, it's moved. It was here. Now it's here. So I took the wheels back off because I need to raise it. I can't turn real sharp because it scrapes right here. Might give some gentle persuasion with a sledge on that. Both sides. But this side, see, you can see where the new scuffs are on this thing, like right along in here. So I might have to just tap this little taparoo, tap that guy in. This was already like that. It's just, this is new. It was just rubbing on this part of the rubber, which I'm not real worried about. And then I don't think it was rubbing any in here, but I couldn't really turn that sharp because it was hitting the inner. So I'm gonna raise it up a 1/2 inch. and not a half inch, a quarter inch, and then go from there. So we'll raise it a quarter inch at a time until I get it where, because I'd like to keep it as low as possible, but I want to get it to where she cruises, and once I know it clears all that, then I can put that fender back on. I just have it off because this side is the side that I've been seeing the most problems with. The toe feels great. It feels like it goes straight, but I mean, I only got it up to like 20, so it's not like that was real impressive. Yeah, so I'm gonna do exactly what I just said I'm gonna do, and I shall let you know in a moment how it turns out. That's a lot of freaking angle right there, bro. So it's all done. I raised it a half inch total, and caster should be right. Toe seems right. I need to put this fender back on. It still scrubs just a little bit, but I'm not real worried about it. I'll just keep an eye on it. I notched the chassis, brought the harness way up so it doesn't scrape anywhere but a tiny bit back there. It's actually the rubber grommet that's scraping, not really the harness. But man, that's a lot. I don't know if it looks like a lot in camera, but I can do a U-turn in the street. I'll show you. Actually, I'm going to turn around right here in the driveway. So I don't know if that was impressive to you, but look at this driveway. That's like 12 feet from there to there, from my car to the garage. Look at this, you see it from the diff? That's a pretty tight turn radius there. So I'm gonna go for another quick cruise, see how it does, see how she works, make sure it doesn't rub too bad, and then I'm probably gonna end the video, so see you in a bit. Look at this aftermarket suspension with that modified custom Malachowski Motorsports fabrication tie rod. Whoa, doctor!